Hey guys, this is Eric Ravenscraft here with Android Police, and today we're taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Player 3.6. This is Samsung's entry into the personal media player market, presumably to go up against the iPod Touch. It's a 3.6-inch device with a TFT display, which in my Galaxy Tab review, I mentioned that Samsung had also put a TFT display in that tablet, and it actually looked pretty good. It's not a Super AMOLED Plus display, but it looked pretty good for what it was. In this device, that is not the case. The colors look very washed out. It seems like a very bland device. Even on the highest brightness settings, it's still difficult to read in sunlight. It's just not a good display, and I've compared it even to several Samsung, just dumb phones, not even Samsung's comparable smartphones, and it looks like a comparable resolution and no easier to read. So in the approach, the Samsung phone without a phone, it falls flat. It's just a bad display. As a media player, it does not come bundled with Google's media apps. You'd have to go and download those from the Play Store. This is Samsung's music app. And as you can see, it actually looks a lot like the built-in Android music apps from a few versions ago, before Google really started getting involved in their Play Store, in their music services, so from at least a year and a half ago or so. And this is not a skinned version of Android's app either, by the way. You do have to download that separately from the Play Store. There's not even really any gestures to go along with it. It's a very basic music app. Similarly, their Videos app, that's it. You tap on the Videos app and it gives you a list of videos, one that came preloaded. There's no options to add or find any more content. I'm assuming it would find it automatically, but there's no instructions given on that. The only options you're given are to remove things from the list and to list by. That's it. It's a very, very basic video player. Subpar, in fact. You can still watch videos through the gallery, which has been Google's primary media player on Android. You can still download Play Movies, which is now also a video player. Not very many people use it for, know that it's specifically used for personal videos as well, but you can use it for that, as well as renting movies from the Play Store. But in general, the apps that came with this device don't seem very suited for media. It did come bundled with Angry Birds, and that plays fairly well, although this device should not be considered a gaming device. I tried playing Running Fred with it, and it stuttered and lagged. Angry Birds is a fairly simple game, although you see it has a slower than average load time. But I'll pop into the first episode. That was a bad decision. Oh, there we go. Skip it. It plays Angry Birds smoothly. It's not gonna crash on that one, but on a more complex game, and especially as we get into more forward-thinking games, as Android becomes more of a gaming platform than it already is right now, physics and puzzle games run the smoothest, but Android developers are bringing more and more complex games. You'll definitely hit a ceiling on processing power on this device. You're not going to be able to run as advanced games as you would expect. So if you're planning on having this device for 2 or 3 years, you can anticipate... Oh, there we go. Thank you for the pop-ups. No. You can anticipate hitting a ceiling. You can anticipate not being able to run newer games. So yeah, you see Running Fred has... That's not the video here. That's the frame rate I'm actually seeing here. It's very especially in a running game like this. It's very difficult to tell where you're going with such a low frame rate. So you can play games on it, but I would not anticipate this being a gaming device for you. All in all, if all you want is an Android device that plays music and doesn't have a cell contract, this will do it for you. But beyond that, it's a pretty disappointing device. So it's $150 now, available in major retailers, but you might be better off just buying a used Android phone and using it on Wi-Fi only.